My name is Cristina Ionita, and I'm the Enterprise and Entrepreneurship Administrator for the Anglo-Ruskin Enterprise Academy. And I am joined today by Soumya, and we're going to talk about our experiences and the kind of things we do to support students. And Soumya is going to talk about her experience as a student employability activator. So, Soumya, do you just want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Christina. My name is Soumya. I am a second year medical science student based in Chelmsford, and I'm also an employability activator. So looking forward to this interview.
Perfect. So now that you have a better understanding of who Soumya is and the kind of the background where she comes from, I would like to ask you, sorry, what kind of skills have you developed at university and how did you get to acquire them?
So I think, well, apart from the fine art of like surviving just with coffee, I've actually picked out a few quite useful skills that will be staying with me throughout my career. So I think one of them is communication, which is a really, really big one. So from like giving campus tour, or like giving student life talks as student ambassador, I actually learned how to like tailor my message to make sure that every audience, like different audience, can understand them and also speak with confidence so that we're on the same page. So another thing could be leadership and teamwork skills. So I have led Impact 24 as a team leader and also student trustee who has worked with like different community groups. So that has allowed me to like lead diverse teams, coordinate tasks, and also make sure that we all hit our goals perfectly, even if there is no perfect way, but altogether, teamwork is dreamwork. So I think that's one of the things that I learned. And then I think that kind of links to time management as well and organization. So, when I was doing A levels, year 12 me was really bad at organization. I cannot for like me, organize properly and do the task properly. But then right now, because I'm balancing, part-time job, volunteering, and there's like events, there's also like uni deadlines. Uni deadlines are a big one. I have actually, learned how to prioritize and plan ahead and, still show up for energy. I think on top of that, the main thing is like digital and creative skills. So, using tools like Canva, Excel, and also a bit of coding as well. I learned how to code during my summer internship. So I learned Python and R and also HTML. So, whether it's like making engaging resources or managing data has been really great. So I think overall, uni has just been more than just academics. It's more like a crash course on like, becoming adaptable, proactive, and also, people focused. So I think these are like really invaluable where my career takes me. Hopefully, not having less group projects. I hate group projects. So yeah, I have said a lot about for this question. So yeah, would like to know a little bit more about you as well. So, what does a typical day look for you?
That's a tough question because every time I walk into the office, I never know what's gonna happen. Obviously, I look at my emails and on my calendar, but my remit implies working with students to support them in starting their own businesses or freelance ventures, and that looks very different to everyone. So sometimes I go out and deliver some of the programs that we're doing. I coordinate our annual Think Big Are You pitching competition. Sometimes I have to go out and attend events at other universities or try to get entrepreneurs to become mentors for our programs. And it's very different, to be honest. Sometimes I have to write reports in order to make sure that we do have the right offer for the students and they are engaging properly. So there isn't a typical day, but to be honest, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Oh, great. That sounds really interesting. Yeah.
So going back to the employability service, because that's where my team sits, have you used the employability service? And if yes, how?
Well, honestly, I have made the most of employability service, I would say, because it has been like my personal career toolkit. So I think first of all, I kind of started using employability service for my CV. So I used the CV checker tool, which like helped me polish my CV and look a bit less than year 10 CV and more something a professional would send out. It's a big win. So I kind of like used CV checker tool to like find mistakes, any errors, or like what kind of the ATS system they look for. So also looking at that was really helpful as well. And I think linking to CVs, you can do there's something also called Interview 360. So it kind of like gave me a great space to like practice interview questions without the pressure of a real interviewer. and researching my awkward pauses. I think another platform from employment services, Handshake. I think I've used that for exploring a range of jobs, roles, internships, and also like work experience or shadowing programs. So, from like local opportunities to industry placements, I wouldn't have found it otherwise if I hadn't, had a Handshake account. I think I applied for several roles with it, and it was really helpful for like, tracking applications and discovering what's there out in my field of interest. Especially that's really important because when I started my degree at university, the only job that I know was like going into a hospital or like going into a lab. But then when I looked for more opportunities, more like work experience, that's when I kind of knew that, it's really, really open. So I think that's, tailoring suggestions and like regular updates was like honestly made my job hunting feel much less, harder and anything like that. So that was really good. And then again, there was also the career guide. So in the career guide website was super helpful for like things like writing strong applications, making a great impression, knowing when and even where to, start looking for opportunities. I also tried the aptitude test as well. I think my absolute favorite has to be, sorry, the elevator pitch builder. So I think that kind of like helped me find the right words without the waffle to like introduce myself confidently and professionally. I never knew how to, introduce myself. When someone asked me to introduce yourself, like, my name is Soumya, and that's it. So yeah, that was really helpful. And the most valuable thing though was I signed up for something called a career mentor. So that was amazing. My mentor has been incredible. She helped me explore like different career paths. She offered insider advice about the industry I want to go into, and even, helped me connect to a summer internship, which was a huge stepping stone. So yeah, I was really, really till this day, I'm grateful for her. So I think overall employment service has like played a massive role in my career development, from like boosting my confidence to like opening real opportunities. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend.
It's so nice to hear that what we do here is actually relevant and you can see the value in doing it, because I know it's difficult to try to fit that into a busy schedule because you have your degree. Some of the students are doing part-time jobs, so trying to prepare already for the future and building your skills and your employability skills more specifically, it can be tiring and scary in the beginning, because as you said, you wanted to get more confidence in interviews and having to tailor your CV to different applications. But it's really, really nice that we are able to help you with that. And you can see the value, as I said, and that when you go out there after you finish your degree, you are confident to enter the job market.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, that's really good. Yeah, I think that kind of like links to my next question. So, what's like an advice that you'd give students about starting their job search and at the beginning stages of their job hunting?
Well, the first one would be update your CV. And you already spoke about the CV checker. So that is a great tool that I recommend to anyone to do it. Even I wanted to do it because I was curious about my CV. And when I put it through, I was like, okay, there are definitely things I need to improve, because obviously things changes and you need to make sure that you put your best foot forward, and that has to be seen in your CV, because that's probably going to be the first thing that employers see. So update your CV, update your LinkedIn profile. If you are not on LinkedIn, please get in there, because it's a great platform to connect with industry professionals, to build your network, and to basically have a platform where you show your projects, your achievements, and people will probably look you up on LinkedIn when you are applying for jobs. So just make sure that that profile is up to date and that, again, you are present there and putting everything you do there, because that's going to come across way better when someone is reviewing your CV and they look at your LinkedIn. They're going to be able to match your experience to your online personality, let's say. Do make use of the employability support. So do speak with an employability career advisor once you start looking for jobs, because they might be able to pinpoint you to the direct platforms. There are lots of websites out there. Some of them are the career center. So just make sure that you go to the website and you look up everything before you book an appointment, just to make sure that once you get to someone to speak with you, you are already further steps down. And I think the final tip would be do get to know you and what you want. And I know that's a very, very big ask because we might have different interests, we might not be sure, we might be studying something, and towards the end we realize that we want to start something else. But do take that moment to reflect on your passions, what you're trying to achieve with your life, and go for it, because at the end of the day, if you don't try, you won't know if it's for you or not. Now, I have a question for you because you have been a student employability activator for how long now?
1 year now, so yeah, end of year, start of last academic year, so about 1 year.
So, how did you find it, and how do you think this is going to help you in your career?
So okay, firstly, I was going through, so I have a LinkedIn account. So I was going through my LinkedIn account, and then I saw one of my friends who was talking about being an employability activator and how it helped her. So I was genuinely curious. I was like, oh, I want to do that as well, because especially because I have had a career mentor before, so I do know the employability service a bit more because of that career mentor, I guess. And I was like, I want to do that. And then literally, that was a pure coincidence. And the next day, I saw the employability activator role open in AIE Temps, and I was like, I want to apply. So I think, that was kind of like the initial journey of becoming an employability activator. And I had an interview and then became an activator now. So I think as student employability activator, I have actually, developed like really, really key skills, like, especially communication, as I said before, and like people skills. But like because we engage with a lot of students and we kind of raise awareness about the support available through the employability service. So whether it's like, chatting one-to-one or like answering questions or promoting opportunities or events, like, I have been done and I have tried to like make people more inspired and learned. I also learned, how to tailor information clearly and confidently, kind of like linking back to my question. And how to like encourage more people to take that first step towards their own career goals, because a lot of people never had LinkedIn, a lot of people never like, considered careers like, genuinely before. And if you were there to like help them feel better, more better, that'd be really amazing. And it also helped me like broaden my knowledge as well with like the career tools and services. Because if I hadn't been become an activator, I would have never known what career service has to offer. So it has like made me more like prepared now and proactive about my future as well. Like plus it has also taught me how to like approach people and start conversation. I was really bad at it before. Never like, I felt really, really, awkward to approach people. But then again, because I was in stores, having like putting up the events and stuff like that. I was able to like approach with people and start conversations and also be that friendly face who can help. So something I know that's like more valuable in any career that involves working with others, which really and truly is like most of them. So yeah.
It sounds like you've been doing it all. What's the best memory? Like, do you have one?
Well, really and truly, all of it are like best memories, I would say. I do have one. So I wasn't working as such at that time. So that was when I was telling my friend about I became an employability activator, and she was like, "Oh, that's great. So what do you guys do?" So that's when I kind of like showed her the career center. I showed her handshake. I kind of like showed everything that employability service has to offer. And then she was like, "Oh, that's really great." And then she took on my advice of like getting a career mentor, and she actually got one. And she she was like really, really, she really enjoyed that experience. And yeah, she's still with the employment service. So that I think I was able to make a difference, if that makes sense. I was really happy that I was able to make a difference. So I would say that's like the best memory. But then again, like I said, everything is a bit step, everything are like amazing. So yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely helping others makes it's such a rewarding feeling. And I feel that I get to have that as part of my job, which is really nice because every time I see a student, it's like, okay, how is this gonna play out? Because they all have great ideas, and some of them want to start like big businesses, some of them want to work as freelancers, or graphic designer, photography, consultancy, whatever it is. They all are really, really happy and excited. And I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. So when they do succeed, and even if they don't, it's still fine because it's a safe space. It's the university. This is the time to try things, and getting being part of a team that helps them to succeed in their aspirational in their entrepreneurial goals. That's really, really nice. So it's I just feel like this is a great place to be.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. That's really valid because it's the experience that counts, I guess. Like even if you don't like it at the end of it, the experience you had would be really amazing. You would have like built so many skills. Everything was like, will be valuable for your future career. Kind of like links to the next question. So like what kind of skills do you think are like most important for students for them to develop for their future career, for like future career goals?
You already spoke about one, and that's communication, because this is such a massive thing. Because even if you end up doing some sort of data analysis, you will still have to talk to people. If something goes wrong, you're probably gonna have to call IT. So you still need to speak with someone on the phone or being that friendly face. It's so important to be able to communicate how you're feeling, what you're thinking in a clear, concise way, because we work in an international environment. We work with people from all over the world as a university, and you're probably going to end up in a job that requires you to do the same thing. So it's really important to be aware of different cultures, different communication styles. Some people would have a more colorful language in terms of they might gesticulate a lot, or they might change between talking very fast or talking very slow. So it's really important to be aware of that, and to make sure that that message is understood. And if it's not, you need to be able to speak about it. So if there is miscommunication, it can happen. You need to have the confidence to speak about it, because things that are left unsaid, they're the worst in my opinion. So do speak with the people in front of you, and always try to be open to see where the other person is coming from. I think that's really, really important. Another one would be leadership. And I think that leadership can come in many aspects. It's not just leading a team, but also how you carry a conversation, how you chair a meeting. It's about being understanding. It's about knowing your strengths, knowing the things that you need to work on, and the abilities of the people around you. Even if you don't end up managing that team, you still need to be aware how other people work in order to see how you position yourself in that team. So I spoke about communication, leadership, digital skills definitely are a must for the future, in my opinion, because we will end up using artificial intelligence, computers, anything tech related. We will have to learn it one way or another. And the way to do it, I think, is just being curious. How does this work? And I think curiosity can be taught. I think that it's, if you don't understand something, you can have you can have two approaches. You can either say, I don't get it, and that's it, and just walk away. Or, okay, I don't understand it now, but what can I do to learn it in my own way? So we do use artificial intelligence, but the thing is, it's a tool. You don't let it control you, don't let it dictate your emails, your business plans, your CV applications, your cover letters. No, that's not the point. It exists as a tool, and it's still up to us how we are going to utilize it. Now, going back to curiosity, remember when you were 5 years old and everything just seemed so bright and colorful, and you didn't mind taking things apart because you're like, oh, how does this work? I think it's really important that we keep that curiosity as we grow up, because at the end of the day, there are so many things that we don't know yet. But what's stopping us from understanding it? Because now with the internet, you have so much information at your fingertips. And it's just about being comfortable with not knowing, but then also going out of your way to make it to understand it if that's what you really want. So yeah, communication, critical thinking, leadership, curiosity, and being tech savvy, which is something that I'm getting used to, because I still have my pen and paper when I go to meetings. I still bring my laptop, but it's really important to immerse yourself into these things because they are here to stay. And The sooner you're gonna get used to them, the sooner you're gonna feel more comfortable, and at the end, you might end up liking to use all of these tools.
Yeah, that's again, like, really really great advice, because future is basically AI, and there is a lot of things we need to be curious to learn more, curious to like understand what's happening. I think it's okay to not know. Literally, like you said, it's completely fine to ask questions, completely fine to like feel lost. But at the end of the day, it's like, what do you do after you feel lost? Do you like just close it and go away, or like do you actually try to understand it? I think that's like really really crucial for like self development as well, as they call the growth mindset. I think that's something that we need, all of us need to have. So yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Well, I think this is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, Soumya, and I hope that everyone watching this will find this relevant, useful, and if you do have any questions, do get in touch with the Employability Service. We are always here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you.